Another big summer blockbuster also in theaters now is Jurassic World Rebirth. The installment of the saga follows, this installment of the saga, I should say, follows a team searching for DNA samples from dinosaurs to develop a new drug that would save human lives. In real life, Colossal Biosciences made headlines earlier this year when they brought back the direwolf using DNA from thousands of years ago. I was so excited to speak to the CEO and lead science officer about the science behind de-extinction, how these creatures will help the environment, and whether we need to worry about dinosaurs living among us in the near future.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs. Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
Were either of you inspired by Jurassic Park to kind of go into your respective fields?
In fact, my whole field inspired Jurassic Park. Michael Crichton commented in the very beginning that he was grateful to Alan Wilson's Extinct Species Study Group. It was the first group of academics working on ancient DNA to inspire him to write the books. But, of course, everybody thinks it was the other way around.
I like building tech companies. I like sci-fi. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to this stuff. So I saw Jurassic Park, the first one, with my grandmother, and I was terrified and excited. I did not go into science. I went more into technology, into business, and eventually, those paths crossed, and I, get to work with people like Beth every day, which is pretty awesome.
Colossal successfully bred 3 direwolf pups, recently produced some woolly mice, hoping to breed a woolly mammoth later in 2028. The science is incredible, but is there an ecological benefit to all of this?
Yeah, so thank you for asking that. Most people just get, direwolves get headlines. Obviously, with the objectively cuteness of Chip and Dale, are 2 of our woolly mice, they get the headlines. But a lot of the ecosystem restoration work and our conservation work doesn't get as much of the headlines. So we want to open source those technologies and give those technologies to the world for free for a purpose of bringing back existing species and saving existing species, as well as bringing back some of these extinct species, and working with indigenous people groups, private landowners, and governments to actually rewild them to help the ecosystem.
Colossal has been working on the Dodo project to bring the dodo bird back from extinction and reintroduce it to its native home of Mauritius.
We're actually already working with the Mauritian government, other NGOs around Mauritius, to actually clean up the ecosystem, help remove invasive species, so that we are ready not to just bring back dodos, but also help the existing flora and fauna in that area.
And so having those functions back in the ecosystem, we believe, can really help to reinvigorate the whole thing, make everybody healthier and happier. Biodiversity brings robustness, and that's our goal with re-engineering these species and also helping living species avoid becoming extinct.
So in Jurassic Park, they breed dinosaurs using the blood they find in the mosquito, in the amber, which to a layperson watching, it's like, oh yeah, that sounds legit. I know that your science is a lot more complex, but I thought it was crazy that you did use DNA from teeth from 13,000 years ago and I think a skull from 72,000 years ago to produce these healthy direwolf puppies. Do you see a future where we could use those teeth and bones from fossils that we have to create dinosaurs? Hopefully not a T-Rex. I'm more of a brontosaurus myself.
Everybody just wants the plant eaters, but do we really know?
Yeah, but big sauropods are, go around elephants. Sauropods are scary. So,
when an animal dies, the DNA in all of its cells, or plant, the DNA in every cell starts to degrade. It gets chopped up into smaller and smaller fragments. We've been developing tools to be able to recover these tiny little broken fragments of DNA from preserved remains. But it requires that the remains are still not fossilized. The problem with dinosaurs is that all of the dinosaur fossils that are out there are rocks. There's no more DNA or proteins in them, as far as we know.
I think maybe at the end of the day, it's not such necessarily a bad thing.
I don't know, we get all kinds of feedback. Some people hate us when we say that, and other people are relieved.
A lot of crying.
Jurassic World Rebirth is in theaters now. Universal Pictures is owned by Comcast, the parent company of NBC10.